as their guys will do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
On second down now. It's Elliott, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now it's Lockett. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They run it with Carson. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys' 35-yard line. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run. Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Pass incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
On second down, it's Carson. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down.
Mike, 48. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 48. Preload. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long time.
From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 16.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
54's Mike. Check. Who's complete?
Penny will try to punch it in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after 1.
Hey, got 4 down.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. The CD earlier, we looked at the AFC playoff picture. Let's quickly peek at what's going on in the NFC right now. We mentioned Seattle and New Orleans would get the byes if the season ended today. The matchups, though, first-round wildcard weekend would be San Fran and Dallas and Minnesota and Green Bay. I smell ratings, my friend.
Big-time ratings. Let's start with Minnesota and Green Bay because that would be their 3rd meeting of the year as they are division rivals in the NFC North. And, of course, going to Lambeau anytime after October 15 is dicey with weather, so you don't know what you're going to get. Minnesota now a dome team. How about San Francisco at Dallas? You could potentially have a San Francisco team with 12 or more wins going on the road to take on a division champ, the NFC East. Dallas, they may have 8 wins. Doesn't seem right, doesn't seem fair, but that's the system. San Francisco may very well have to do it. Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
He finds his man. It's Austin. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Prescott from the gun. And a big loss here as he's taken down with a sack at Ziggy Ansah. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Now it's Carson, and he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Here's Carson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
At the 47-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Look left. Here we go again. Hey, watch that.
Now Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
We own them. Watch twitch. Watch the twitch.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. Tavon Austin, he's going to go. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tavon Austin, 95 yards, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't? And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Wilson. And that's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go around.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf. As the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
Here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Elliott. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, I can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Returnable for Lockett. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down.
Go, 14.
To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Prescott to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Hey, we got Mike 50, huh? Let's go, D. Big series right here.
Throwing, Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
14.
Now it's Wilson. Short pass to the tight end, Hollister. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Arlington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. Wilson now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 21-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start on the ground with Elliott. Now, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They go to Elliott again. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
On first down, Carson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before, and now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 15-yard touchdown grab. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's going to get this to Austin, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Prescott. Buying, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
You better be ready next time.
A big loss on the play brings up 2nd down.
So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they